Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be a video about a beginner army for Dread Elves, how to get started with Dread Elves at a budget. So first you will see that I have new recruit open. This is a website where you can build your own armies for 9th age, and you have all the different armies that are available to the game. You can browse through the different options that you have in the army. You can adjust the amount of models that you have in a unit. You have all the upgrades that you can, and then in the end I made this army. I'm looking at 3000 point armies for this video series, as I said, with a budget of 150 euros for the models. And well, this is basically a balanced army list, I would say, at this point limit for Dread Elves, and it will also get you started to increase further. So what do you have in the army? You have a Dread Prince who's on foot. You have a Temple Exarch BSB. This is quite a staple in many Dread Elf lists. You have the Selection Spears, quite common to use. The Selection Auxiliaries. You have some Corsairs. These are quite a nice way of learning how to play with light troops in the game. Some Dread Knights for a bit of swift stride in the army. You have 2 repeater batteries because they're actually quite good in Dread Elves. Then you have a Hydra and a Missile Leviathan to also give you some monster action. With that you have a fully rounded magic phase at the point limit that you're playing. For further expansion you could improve a bit on the magic. But if you have an Alchemy Battle Standard Bearer with the Book of Arcane Mastery and the Rod of Battle, basically you have a very nice efficient budget magic phase there. So what kind of models would you use for this? One of the obvious choices are the Dark Elf range from Games Workshop. That used to be the progenitor basically for Dread Elves. But then again, a lot of these models are not available for print anymore, or for buy, purchase, whatever. So it is quite natural to look for alternatives, and if you're on a bit of a budget like 150 euros, I would personally suggest models from TTcombat. So they have a beautiful range of different models, and they also have these kind of desert elves that are quite suitable for Dread Elves. So they have a bit of a different vibe to them than the Games Workshop Dark Elves would have, but they still have assassins, they have gorgons, they have chariots, they have everything that you could possibly need. And then for the models that we will be looking at, well, I think this is quite an amazing Battle Standard Bearer with quite a cool pose that you don't very often see in models. We have an Elven Queen as the Dread Prince, so it's basically an Elven Princess. The Elven Shadows as the Corsairs. They even have little crossbows, I believe, so that is fully in line with the unit. You have the Sunblaze Hexes on Velocigators, which are also kind of like dinosaurs. These are going to be your Dread Knights. Then you have a Hydra. You have an actual Hydra in the army selection. So I think that they also designed this army to be played for Dread Elves. And then you have the Elven Spears. So this is going to be your basic spear unit basically. You have the crossbows. And you still have the bolt throwers obviously. Also just gorgeous models with a bit of a twist on the bolt thrower design. And then for the Missile Leviathan, I would actually advise to get the Cloud Slicer, because while the Missile Leviathan is flying, it's supposed to be a bit of a weaker war beast. So I think this is quite a nice option. It even has 2 different build options apparently. And then with that you have your fully rounded army for 150 euros more or less. It's a bit less, I believe, this time. And yeah, I think it's going to be a blast to paint up. I think it's a nice range of different models. And well, it's also a blast to play this army. It's still one of my first armies, actually the first army that I played in Warhammer back in the day. So I never forgot my love for the Dread Elves. Yeah, and this is how the army looks on the table. So the software that I'm showing you now is Warhall. Warhall is a software that you can use to play online against other people or random people on the internet, or against friends obviously. And then you can just test out basically anything that you want to try out. So the units that you have, you can quite easily move them around. You can also join characters to units. It's quite easy in how it plays. It doesn't support or it doesn't provide any of the hard rules of 9 days, but you can get the premium, and then you have all the unit profiles with all the special rules integrated in the program. So that definitely helps out your games. So this is going to be my advice for 3000 points for Dread Elves as a beginner army on a budget. I hope you liked the video. If you like, then please subscribe, etc, etc, you know the drill. And I will see you the next time.